What's up, guys, and welcome to United Talk episode number 7. And in this one I have only 3 stories, but I'm going to go over them in great detail and to tell you my thoughts and opinion about each one. So the first one I'm going to talk about is to do with Sir Alex Ferguson and the tour. As you know, United departed England for South Africa on Monday, and they are due to play their first game tonight against Amazulu FC in the kind of like Soccer City, I think that's what it's called, the stadium where the World Cup final took place, and that's where they're going to play their first match tonight. And it's, I think, around 7 o'clock UK time and 8 o'clock local time there for South Africans. So if you go want to tune in, the only way I think you can watch it is on MUTV. You unfortunately have to pay for that, but if you don't, then you can tune in tomorrow for my match report, where I will talk over the events happening during the match. But anyway, let's crack on. And the first story, Sir Alex Ferguson delivering some kind of like words and motivational words during the initial press conference over there in South Africa. And some journalist was asking him a question about the league and where it laid in his kind of like priority list next season, whether it's the number 1 or it was after the Champions League. And he came out, confirming that the league is our number 1 target, saying that we have to recover, and we've done it many times. That's our target this year. Priority number 1 is to win the league title back. So there you guys can hear for yourself kind of like the determination that Sir Alex has within himself to win back the title. And we all know how disappointed we were at the end of last season to lose on such close margins. And it's a thing that I wouldn't wish on any other football fans. It's a cruel way to do and settle a league, but it has to be done. There has to be a winner, and congratulations to Man City that they got their slice of luck this year. But in the years past we had luck on our side, so it was only fair that another team had that slice of luck. And that's what the league is about. It's the most entertaining league in the world, and that's what competition do when other teams spend a lot of money, and that's what we have to match up to next season. And Sir Alex, I have no doubt that he will be kind of like making the effort with all the players, bringing new players such as Nick Powell and Shinji Kagawa to help the club develop themselves, and help the squad to push them that extra mile and challenge City for the title once again. I've no doubt that Sir Alex done it, because in the past 25 years he hasn't got to where he has without kind of like this, going through different experience, and he's not new to these sort of situations. Sir Alex will be your man to take you out of this kind of situation, and he has a proven track record in this category, so they say. So I can assure you guys that, like the years past, Sir Alex will be trying once again to regain supremacy within the domestic league. And I think it's a sensible way to do it, because the league is our main priority. We can obviously concentrate also on the Champions League, because it is one of the top prizes amongst world football. But I do believe that our domestic league is far more important, because after that, if you win the league, you can build upon that kind of like base, and then establishing yourself and bring in more exciting players, and then pushing for the Champions League place. And I think that's what Sir Alex has done so well in the past. Kind of like after a setback or a disappointment, he has gone back to the drawing board, simplified down the plan, focus us on the league, and then perhaps pushing for the Champions League place when or if it's necessary. And so Sir Alex once again has come out with really a strong message for next season, that the league is our main priority. What do you guys think of that kind of like comment? Would you guys have chosen the Champions League over the Premier League as your main priority? So if you think that, guys, please leave your comment below on this Sir Alex comment. The next story I'm going to talk about is to do with 2 players that were absent for the majority of last season. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Nemanja Vidic, and the other one I'm going to talk about is also Chris Smalling. Both this week have been receiving good news from the club doctors, saying that they both will be fit for the next season. and I'm sure this will come as a great delight to many of you guys out there, because Nemanja Vidic, he is one of the best defenders, if not the best defender around in the world, and we definitely missed him towards the end of the season when we were up against it and we kind of like missed that rock at a central defence. Yes, Johnny Evans, you could argue, had a very solid second half season, but when it came to crunch time, he still kind of like messed up. And the game against Everton is obviously a main telling point in that aspect. And with Vidic there, I kind of assured that he would have suffered the same fate as Johnny Evans did against Marouane Fellaini, and that's why Vidic has earned himself this title as one of the top defenders, because he, is brave as a lion. He sticks his head wherever some players tell him to put their feet in. So Vidic, he's a great defender, and it's been great news that we are going to see our captain back at the beginning of the season. As you guys know, he had suffered that horrendous knee ligament injury at the beginning of December against Basel in the Champions League, and that consequently made him miss the rest of the season. And like I said, we did seem to miss Vidic a whole lot when he was away at times, so it will be great to see our captain back. And on the other hand, Chris Smalling is also received good news, saying that he will also be fit for the start of the season. And this will be a key kind of like factor, I think, for next year, because to build upon a solid defence is kind of like the fundamental of football today. You need to have the ability to keep clean sheets week in, week out, and to give yourself a chance to win any match. Because if we had Vidic and perhaps Smalling as well against Man City, then perhaps we might have not conceded so many goals against some of the teams last season, and that could have potentially won us a league. So all these little factors you have to kind of like take into consideration, and it's a great boost to our whole club that Nemanja Vidic, obviously our captain, and also Chris Smalling, who proven himself over the past few years that he has the ability to be at a very top very soon. And so it's great that we see these two defenders back, especially with some of our players away from the at the Olympics. We will need to have a very strong start again to even put a kind of like a strong title push against City, because we have to be there and thereabout in order to challenge in the second half. So it's a vital thing that we have a good solid base, so that we can push on next season to perhaps win our 20th league title. So what do you guys think of this story? Leave your comment below on both Nemanja Vidic and Chris Smalling. And the next story and last story I want to talk about is to do with our new signing, Nick Powell. And this week it has turned out that Nick Powell, even though everyone's saying he's only 18, earned this big money contract to United. And on the first day, what did he drive in? A Vauxhall Corsa Stallion. So that's been receiving a lot of news around the press this week, saying about this and how he could it's a mismatch basically, because he was parking next to Rio Ferdinand's Bentley, etc. So you could paint yourself this image of this United footballer coming up in his Vauxhall Corsa and looking a bit out of place, if you like. But I have to say, I'm really impressed with this story, because what that shows me is that Nick Powell is a really down-to-earth player. He's not one of these players who, although has a lucrative contract for such a young player, it's not going to get to his head straight away, and he's going to buy his time, and he knows he has to buy his time because of the quality in front of him at the moment, with the likes of Paul Scholes, Michael Carrick, Tom Cleverley, Ryan Giggs, Anderson. So he has to buy his time, obviously, Nick Powell. And this story has created a lot of humour around the press, and Nick Powell has taken it really well on Twitter as well. If you guys don't know, you can follow him on his Twitter, and I'll leave a link down below as well if you want to check that out. Nick Powell, took it in really in a good manner, and what can I say much more than that he is a down-to-earth player, and he does make the right impression to United supporters, saying that he's not all there about the money, and he does believe in that old philosophy that if you're good enough, then the money will come and find you, unlike some other young players that we had at our club, unfortunately. But on the bright side, Nick Powell, he does seem that he will be featured within the preseason tour. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be looking forward to seeing him perhaps tonight, but I think definitely the next game. I seen for tonight's game, I think Robbie Brady will be starting at left back. Shinji Kagawa will play behind Chicharito, so that will be a really exciting combination to watch. So there you guys have it. There's another episode of United Talk. That is the 7th episode now. I can't believe how quickly all these has been wrapped up, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this experience still, and you know, hopefully I'll bring you guys more content in the near future. I'll have my usual United transfer talk on Friday, but that will be a bit later because I'm going to see Batman, the premiere of it, so you guys have to forgive me for that one. And tomorrow, like I said, I'll bring you a match report of the Reds' first season pre-season friendly against Amazulu FC in South Africa tonight, which I'll remind you again is at 7 PM kickoff UK time, and I'm not sure about their place, but it's 8 PM local time in South Africa. So again, if you like this video guys, please rate, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.